Hello learners in a special program in the arts. How are you today? It's another great day of learning on TV. And I'm sure you are all excited to listen and learn about arts. This is TV Eskwela of DepEd Davao de Oro, where learning continues and right venue of education. It is my pleasure to be with you as we explore and learn more about special program in the arts, Visual Arts for Grade 7, Quarter 3. I am Teacher Richard Indav Fernandez from Manat National High School, Nabunturan East District, your visual art teacher for today's episode. Join me in exploring the world of shapes, patterns, and creativity. Let's all create arts from the heart. Are you excited for today's lesson? Very good! Prepare your notebook, ball pen, so that we can take down notes on the important points to remember as we go along with this part episode. Are you now ready? Great! At the end of this episode, you are expected to identify the tools and materials in freehand sketching. Sketch using the tools and materials in freehand sketching. Appreciate the importance of freehand sketching. Today, we are going to identify the various tools and materials in freehand sketching and penciling techniques. Now, let me test your aptitude in visual arts and let's start the basic. Are you ready? Okay, great! I am going to show you pictures and all you have to do is to guess the name of that picture based on the scrambled letters each item. I will give you 5 seconds to answer each item. Ready? And the timer starts now. First picture. Yes, you are correct. It's a pencil. Second picture. Is your answer an eraser? You're absolutely correct. Third picture. Is it a graphing paper? Definitely correct. Fourth picture. Yes, it is a sharpener. Good job! Fifth and last picture. Did I hear drawing sheet? You're awesome because you are correct again. Drawing. The art or technique of producing images on a surface, usually paper, by means of marks, usually of ink, graphite, chalk, charcoal, or crayon. Sketch. Traditionally, a rough drawing or painting in which an artist notes down his preliminary ideas for a work that will eventually be realized with greater precision and detail. The term also applies to brief creative pieces that per se may have artistic merit. Freehand sketching is such a drawing which is drawn without measuring instruments. This drawing is drawn with the help of pencil and eraser. Such drawing is drawn before every type of actual drawing because it takes less time. Freehand drawing has much importance in practical works because a draftsman has to check drawings of every object from the engineer. At the checking of complete drawing, much time is wasted on alterations if needed. Since less time is needed for freehand drawing. Therefore, initially such drawing should be depended upon. Following principles should be followed for freehand sketching. Number 1. The object should be seen thoroughly and pondered over its objectives and concepts. Number 2. More detailed aspect is considered for selection of a view. Number 3. Space is specified on a drawing sheet according to the sizes of views. Number 4. The dim lines are drawn so that extra lines may be erased easily. Number 5. Scale and ruler are not used in drawing, although ratio and proportion of different parts of an object are considered. Number 6. Horizontal lines are drawn, then vertical lines are drawn, and arcs and circles are drawn lastly. Number 7. After completing the diagram, a clear scale is written in some suitable manner. The following art tools and materials are needed in freehand sketching: soft lead pencil, eraser, sharpener, drawing sheets, graph sheets. Number 1. Soft lead pencil. A pencil is the prime tool for drawing. Constructed a narrow solid pigment core in a protective casing that prevents the core from being broken or marking the user's hand. Pencils create marks by physical abrasion, leaving a trail of solid core material that adheres to a sheet of paper or another surface. In general, pencils are numbered or graded to inform the buying public of the hardness of the pencil lead. Pencil leads also have subgrades that are used mainly by graphic artists. For H, 2H, H, HB, F, B, B2, and the softest being B4. What do the letters and the numbers on a pencil mean? Pencils are marked with H's and B's. The H means hard and the B means black. These letters can be used alone or in combination with one another, such as HB pencil. The HB is equivalent to the American number 2 pencil you've used for years. Number 1 pencil is the same as B pencil. Observe the pencil hardness chart to further understand. Number 2, eraser. An eraser, also known as a rubber in Commonwealth countries from the material first used, is an article of stationery that is used for removing marks from paper or skin like parchment or vellum. Erasers have a rubbery consistency and come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. There are types of eraser according to its usage, and these are: vinyl eraser. It is a plastic or drafting eraser. Can erase graphite, charcoal, and even ink. Should be used lightly because it can harm paper. Pencil eraser. or pencil with eraser tip. Also available in the form of mechanical pencil, and some come with a brush. These are good for precision work. Rubber eraser, also found on top of a pencil. This is firm but less harmful to paper than vinyl eraser. Gum eraser. It is soft and translucent. It tends to crumble. Not good for precision work. It doesn't harm your paper. Kneaded eraser. It is soft and pliable. Good for erasing fine details and can be used for graphite and charcoal. Also good for paper and not useful for erasing large spaces. Sand eraser can erase pencil, colored pencils, and ink. Good for creating highlights in colored pencil sketches. Can harm your paper. Number 3. Sharpener. A pencil sharpener is a tool for sharpening a pencil's writing point by shaving away its worn surface. Pencil sharpeners may be operated manually or by electric motor. It is common for many sharpeners to have casing around them, which can be removed for emptying a pencil shaving debris into a trash bin. Types of pencil sharpener. Classic single blade pencil sharpener grips. The pencil sharpener with deposit. Double pencil sharpeners. Crank sharpener. An electric pencil sharpener. The fourth material for freehand sketching is the drawing sheets. These are sheets of paper used for drawing. They have fixed dimensions. Different sizes of paper are available we use according to our need. Graph sheet. Graph paper is writing paper that is printed with fine lines making up a regular grid. The lines are often used as guides for plotting graphs of functions or experimental data and drawing curves. Those are following materials for freehand sketching. This time, we will practice the different pencil techniques in freehand sketching. Are you excited? Great! Now, get those materials in freehand sketching and follow this video demonstration.
Right, let's talk a little bit about drawing. And drawing starts off with the idea that everything, no matter what sort of thing you have, everything is made up of shapes. And the shapes are reasonably fairly simple. I've just got 3 objects over here. And if we can look at each of these objects in turn, looking at them in a certain angle, they're all kind of made up of shapes. So we've got a square shape. We've got a circular shape over here. Now I could trace that circle shape if I wanted to, but if I want to draw a circle has a center. Just plot the center, go from either side, mark out around the edges roughly where you think that circle is going to be so that all the radiuses are equidistant. Then you can turn the page around if you want, because your hand has a natural flow and you can create a reasonably accurate circle. So use the natural twist of your wrist to create to be able to take advantage of drawing shapes that look like they're reasonably circular. Now, straight lines. Let's talk about straight lines a bit. If you want to draw a straight line, don't try and draw a straight line by moving your hand like this, by pivoting at your wrist. It's going to form an arc. Instead, pivot from your elbow or even from your shoulder and just draw. So my elbow is stiff, my wrist is stiff, and I'm just drawing straight lines like that. You can give that a go. So wrist is stiff, arm is stiff, and just try drawing straight lines. You can make them across the other way, like this. And don't be afraid about making mistakes. A lot of people, when they start drawing, they're not used to it, they'll try and hedge their bets by drawing lots of little lines to try and get a straight line. I call that the furry beast. Just do a nice straight line all the way across. Be bold, be confident. Now if you want to join two bits, say for example we've got this shape over here, we want to draw that shape, it's kind of looking at it from this angle, it's like a rectangle here, and then it's got sort of a chopped off triangle at the bottom. So let's do our rectangle first. There's the rectangular section. So that's that section over here. There's the rectangle. And now we've got this triangular section. So let's work out the halfway. It's going to be like that. So it's in the middle. It's a symmetrical shape. And we've got a distance, and the distance is going to be sort of like that. Now I've got to join from these two edges to a certain distance, which will be the bottom edge. So from there to there. I'm looking at that, I'm going, I think that's about from there to there. And now I'm going to draw my lines across. Now they're straight lines. If I want to start at one point, finish at another, practice a little bit, and then once you're certain, draw your line. Do the same thing here. Turn the paper a bit. See, I'm twisting it to make it easy for my hand. Move the paper around rather than you moving around. So it's from here to here. There it is. And now we've got roughly what that shape looks like. It's only a sample. Now, the other shape that you often meet up with are things like triangles. So for a triangular shape, well, we've almost got a triangle sitting over here, like that. So again, if I wanted to draw this shape, looking at it from the side, I'd have a rectangle here, down the bottom, there's the rectangle. Then I'd have sort of like a triangle cut off, and another square, and some more little shapes. And all of it is symmetrical about an axis. So if I want to draw that shape looking at it from the side, the first thing that I do is say, okay, well, there's the central axis. There it is. And then I'm going to start the object down the bottom over here. I'll decide it's going to be about that high. And then my next little stage is looking at it will be about this high. And then there's another section up here, a couple little more sections, and then the top of it. So there's my different sort of heights of the object. I'm making it a little bit bigger than what it is, so it's easier for you to see. This side, I'm not left-handed. Okay. And then I'd start to draw my widths. So I think it's symmetrical, so I'm going to make it go from here to here. Now I've got a shape that's going to go across like that. Next I've got a triangular surface like we did up here. Join those two lines, 1, 2. I've got another little rectangular section which looks like a rectangle. If I hold it up to you about there, you can see that it's sort of like a rectangle. So there it is there. I'm not looking for accuracy, I'm looking for a visual representation of what this object would look like. And then I'm going to go across here, make another little rectangle, that's that top one up here, join it up, another one here, and lastly a little spout at the top. And that's what that shape looks like. If I wanted to make it look a bit more three-dimensional, I can imagine a light source coming from one side here like that, and I can colour. The parts closer to the light will be brighter, the parts further away will be darker, and I can just use some parallel lines to give that impression. Straight away the object starts looking more three-dimensional. Okay, so we've got circles, rectangles, we'll have triangles, and these lines that I'm drawing here are called construction lines. So construction lines give us a point of reference that we can draw on, and we usually draw them in a lighter line format, so they're not as heavy. I'm using a pen because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But more complicated shapes can easily be broken down into circles and squares, like for example this shape here. It's a more complicated shape. But if I look at it carefully, I can think, okay, I've got various shapes here. I've got a triangular looking shape sitting down over here. So if I were to draw it a little bit like this to show its shape, I'm going to have a center line roughly there. And I can say, all right, well, this is almost like a triangle here. There it is. There. And there. This middle section is more squarish. There it is. And the last little section trails off to another triangle, down sort of to here and to here. And then I've got a little hollow section over there. So that's just like two circles joined by a square, like that. And then I've got the approximate shape. Now I can smoothen that shape out if I want to a little bit later to make it look more fluid, to represent the shape that I've done a little bit better. But I've got guidelines to work on. And of course inside you can see other little shapes appearing and so forth. There's circles and gears and bits and pieces. But just to indicate to you that all of these, just a straight line there, all of these, most shapes can be represented as triangles, squares or circles, or some combination of those. So if you can draw a triangle, if you can draw a square, and if you can draw a circle, even if it's not exactly perfectly round, you can draw almost any shape.
Now, to test your understanding about our lesson, let's have an activity, and it is entitled the Match Me Out. Directions. Match the list of the descriptions at column A to the tools and materials in freehand sketching at the column B. Write your answer on your paper. I will give you enough time to finish your task. Good luck, students. Now let's begin. And the timer starts now. Now let us try to check your answers. Are you excited to know your score? Alright! Number 1, eraser. Number 2, soft lead pencil. Number 3, sharpener. Number 4, drawing sheet or drawing paper. Number 5, graph sheet. And that ends our art lesson about special program in the arts, visual arts for grade 7 quarter 3. I hope that you find this lesson useful in your art practicums. May all the ideas for today will be instilled in your mind, and let us continue to explore more about the significance of visual arts in our lives. And that would be all for today, my dear visual arts students. Once again, I am Teacher Richard Indab Fernandez from Manat National High School, Nabunturan East District, saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!